to Career Uprising. I'm your host and professional career coach, Lorraine Rise. Join me as I guide you through an amazing journey of self-discovery and empowerment. If you are looking for work, changing careers, or stuck in a toxic job, then this is the show for you. I offer both practical and spiritual guidance to help you up-level and advance your career. Let's start the uprising. Hey everyone, you are listening to episode 109, Creating the Life That You Want. Hey everyone, how are you doing? It's good to be back for another show. And as you guys know, 2021 is almost over. It's December 1st now as I'm recording my last two shows for this year. It's just unbelievable to me. Time is flying by. And 2021, honestly, for me was kind of a stressful year, especially just last month, man. It was just all things at once. And I'm well aware any problems I have really are first world problems. I'm infinitely blessed, but it was a challenging year. So if you felt that as well in your own life, I am right there with you. Number of things going on. And I don't usually say that. Things are usually really, really good, but it's a strange place for me to be. But I have been under quite a bit of stress in 2021. We tried our very best to buy a new home and move locally, but we were unsuccessful. We tried 3 different houses and we sold our house 3 different times, but could never buy. It's just a tough market. So I think that dream is on the shelf for now after a very stressful 11 months of looking. So we're going to stay put for now and see what the future holds for us. And then my grandmother passed away in November, literally minutes before I got to her room to see her one more time. She passed away while we were checking in the lobby. It was just dramatic a little bit, but I'm happy for her. She is in another life form now, in another world, and that's a good thing. So I love her. Hope you're doing well wherever you are, Grandma. And we just also had some really challenging family, relationships and dynamics in my extended family over the holidays. And then, of course, there's COVID still hanging around, lurking. None of this is a complaint. It's not my style. I'm just kind of speaking honestly and sharing with you guys what's been going on in my world. And I do feel like it has taken me out of the business a little bit. I have posted virtually nothing on social media for weeks. I haven't really put out that many emails. I've almost kind of forgotten to go out and promote my shows that come out. My mind has been kind of somewhere else. So if you feel like I've been a little quiet, I have been, especially on LinkedIn. I haven't posted at all in really like a month. So I'm still here, guys. I'm doing fine. I've just had some personal and family stuff kind of pulling me in a different direction, but that's just how it goes. And I've learned a lot about myself from all of these experiences. So I'm grateful truly for all of them. It always ends up bringing my family closer together when we go through hard things. So I'm grateful for that. And it, like I said, it just, every time I struggle in my life, it actually reminds me how much struggle I don't have in my life and how good things really are. So very grateful. But actually, talking about all of this is a really good segue into what I want to share with you guys today. I want to talk big picture, very broadly here about creating the life that you want. You are creating your life right now, this minute. Every second that you are alive is a moment of creation. There is never a moment where you are not creating your life. The question is, what do you want to create? And do you want to run on autopilot and default? Or do you want to create thoughtfully and intentionally so that you're in control of the circumstances of your life? So before you can even begin to leverage the creative powers that you have to acknowledge and understand that you have the power to create your life in the first place. Not everyone believes that they're in control or even really understands what this means. A lot of people think, yeah, that sounds good, but they don't know what that translates to in terms of their actions and their thoughts and how they have to be different to make it happen. A lot of people will philosophically agree with me on this idea. Yes, sure, we create our own life, but then they go on continuing to blame their parents or the government or society or whomever for their problems. And yes, of course, we do interact with other people and cross paths and get our energies all intertwined and entangled with other people. And they do influence us, but they only really influence us in whatever way we let them. Before you can create anything meaningful in your life, you have to acknowledge that you are ultimately in control and that it's worth changing the energy that you put out into the world to get a different result. Because what you put out into the world is what's going to come back to you. It's a law of the universe, like the law of gravity. And if you don't think that you're in control, well, then go ahead and turn off the show now. You might as well. None of this will matter to you if you don't think that you can influence the circumstances of your life. But if you do think that you have that power to create a better life for yourself, and you want to know how you can do it, then keep listening. So the basic principle is this: your life is a reflection of everything you've ever thought, believed, and chosen up to this point. You're a summation of everything you've ever experienced. So if you ever want to know, why is my life the way it is? Or why am I the way that I am? There you have it. You are simply the equivalent of everything that you've ever experienced in your life, all rolled up into this moment. That's why you are the way you are. It's really that simple. Just like the dinner you made last night is a summation of all of the ingredients that you put in. Do you want to change what you're having for dinner? Easy. You would just pick a different recipe and put in different ingredients. Silly, right? No one would question that. You want something different for dinner? Make something different. Your life is the same way. If you want a different life, put in different ingredients. If you're unsatisfied with any area of your life, you need to put in different ingredients to the recipe to get a different result. And the ingredients, of course, are your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions and your beliefs. Those are the ingredients of your life, and they really happen in that order. It starts with your thoughts, and then a thought progresses into a feeling, and a feeling progresses into an action. Or maybe beliefs is somewhere in there first, right? But I'm not sure, because I think sometimes we act on things that we don't fully believe are possible yet. So I'll be honest, I don't know where beliefs fall into that equation, but I know it goes thoughts, feelings, actions. That's for sure. So what are the ingredients that you've been putting in so far? Judgment? Are you withholding forgiveness from someone? Anger? Resentment? Jealousy? Doubt? Fear? That's a big one. Resistance? Is there anything in your life that you are resisting right now and wishing it wasn't happening? The list goes on. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say. It's amazing. I was reading up on this the other day because I know I have a really active mind. I'm like constantly thinking and scheming new things up. It's almost to my detriment sometimes. It can get a little out of control. It's very intense in my brain. And if anyone else feels that way, I would love to know. So I'm not the only one. But so I started investigating this a little bit, and wanting to know how many negative thoughts does even a really happy, positive person like me have in a day? It's got to be so many. And I've read a couple different articles, and it's estimated that the average brain has anywhere from about 25,000 up to 50,000 thoughts in a day. And about 70% of them are usually negative. Oh my God, people, that's nuts. If you knew how powerful your thoughts really are in shaping your life, you would never have a negative thought again. Negative thoughts would become a luxury that you just can't afford. And they really are. They're a luxury that none of us can afford because your thoughts are so powerful. They are the building blocks to your life. Getting a different result means thinking differently and believing that something different could be possible. Stopping negative thoughts starts with self-awareness. Simply taking a moment to notice the thought and correct it goes a long way. Now, it's not going to instantly change your whole life just to do that, but it compounds. If you start more frequently, a few times a day, and then a few more times a day, stopping, noticing the thought, interrupting it, and just replacing it with something more positive, if you keep doing that, all of a sudden it's going to become more automatic to think more positively. It's just conditioning your brain. But in order to condition it, you have to start by noticing and interrupting that pattern and replacing it with something new, and then doing that over and over and over. So as soon as you think a thought that you don't want, stop for a second, let the thought go, and just replace it with another one. Even if you don't believe it's true yet, even if it feels fake or feels like a lie, just do it anyway. You need to do this over and over. And within just a few days, I'm telling you, you will see a difference. Slowly, those negative thoughts will dissipate and they will start to become less and less on their own. And you will replace them with more positive ones. Okay. I've given you a lot to think on already. Let's take just a quick commercial break. When we come back, I have some specific strategies for how you can change your life starting immediately. And I'm going to share some of my personal tips and strategies and successes with you. All right. We are definitely not done yet. Stay tuned, guys. Hey guys, we're on a break for a minute, and I want to tell you about something exciting going on at careeruprising.com. I have an online store that I created just for you. It has a variety of low-cost resources that will give you the boost that you need in your career. And they offer a great introduction to what it would be like to coach with me. I've got ebooks, meditations, and other resources for you to take advantage of and start getting help today. These products are instantly downloadable, priced incredibly low, and cover many aspects of career transitions. Head on over now to the store while you're listening to the show. It's at careeruprising.com/store. That's careeruprising.com/store. Now let's get back to the show. Okay, guys, so let's talk about what I've created in my life, and maybe you can grab some ideas and some inspiration from there. So how did I do it, right? Sometimes I have to ask myself this. How did I leave the corporate world at just 30 or 31 years old? And I was making only about $50,000 a year. And I wouldn't really make any more. If I had stayed on the track that I was on in HR, I would have capped out at probably $75,000 a year, maybe $100,000 if I made it to like a VP level at the end of my career. How did I leave that at such a young age with only like 9 years of post-college experience? And now I work for myself from my own home. I have a staff to support me, and I'm making strong 6-figure salary. How did I do that? Oh my God, I'm asking legitimately, asking myself. Sometimes it's amazing when I think about what I've accomplished. And I too succumb to doubt and imposter syndrome when I look at other people who are accomplishing more than me. There's coaches out there who make $1 million a year or more. And why? Because everything I've created in my life is a reflection of what I believe to be possible right now. So if I'm making $100,000 as a coach right now, it's because I believe that that's possible and realistic. If I were to make $1 million a year, it would be because I believe that that's possible and realistic, and I'm taking action towards it. But if it's not happening, it's because there's a limitation in my belief. Make sense? You're only going to manifest what you believe is possible and realistic. So, should I change what I believe is possible, my life will then change to that level. And it's not just about money. Measure this any way you want. Maybe you want to improve your health. Maybe you want to improve your relationships. You have to believe that it's possible and realistic to heal that relationship and have forgiveness for that other person in order for it to happen. You have to believe that it's possible for you to lose 30 or 40 pounds and keep it off and be the kind of person who does that, who loses weight and keeps it off. You have to have a vision of yourself being that person before you do it. And it takes courage. Believe me, I know. I know. Like I said, if I've achieved it, it's because I believed it was possible, and therefore I took the action necessary to achieve it. And if I didn't achieve it, it's because I didn't believe it was possible and didn't take the action. It is literally that simple. You won't take action until the thoughts believe that it's worthwhile to take action because it might actually happen. It starts with a thought and then progresses to a belief and then an action. That's when it becomes real, but not before that. You have to go through each step. Sorry, no shortcuts. All right. I remember taking massive, quick action when I started my business. I can still see myself. I was so motivated. I was in a toxic job. I was about to get fired, and I pretty much knew it was coming. And I needed another plan. I didn't want to just go get another job. It didn't feel right. It didn't really feel like a permanent solution. Plus, I was embarrassed. I didn't know how I was going to explain it to employers. So I thought, you know what? I don't want to go out and get another job. I want to replace my income my way. So what did I do? I took action. I scribbled out plans for my website. I opened up Excel, made a business plan. I still have that same document today, and I'm in it almost every day. It's the same business plan I've always had. I scribbled out, packages and prices and ideas. I went and registered my business online within Virginia. I started telling friends and family. I ordered business cards. I did all of this before I ever got my first client. I had to. That's how it works. You have to believe it's possible and take action first before the proof ever shows up that you're going to be successful. There's just no other way. If I didn't have a business already in place, I couldn't get clients. We can't wait till we have clients and then start a business and go, oh yeah, now I can do it. No. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to take action now before the payoff comes. It's the only way it happens, my friends. And if this is intimidating, start small. I'm not saying you got to go quit your job and start a business. Whatever your dream is, maybe instead of setting a goal to lose 50 pounds, start with 5 and take action towards that and be the kind of person who can lose 5 pounds. Because I'm pretty sure if you can show up for 5 pounds of weight loss, you can show up for 10. And when you master that, you can show up for 15. Set little micro goals. Don't try to achieve it all at once. I didn't quit my job and then try to start a $100,000 a year business. Heck no, I didn't make that much money. I was charging so little, but I knew all I had to do was just start the business. That's it. That was the first success. And if I just did that, then I was a success and the rest would come later. Set incremental goals. Don't set huge, enormous goals that are intimidating and make you implode from fear and just paralyze you because they're too big. If you want to be different, you've got to think different and you've got to choose different, even in the smallest way. Start slowly becoming the person you want to be. Do you want to be somebody who doesn't drink alcohol anymore? Practice not drinking in a situation where you normally would, even just one time. See what happens. See if it kills you. Do you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck? Well, start setting aside money for a large purchase that you'd normally tell yourself that you can't afford. Start working towards it. Try it. Just once. See if it bankrupts you. Start becoming the person you want to be before you see any proof of it in the physical world? How would you walk? How would you talk? What would you think? What would you say? What would you do if you were the person that you wanted to be and you had everything you've ever wanted? Be that person today. You can do it, guys. Okay? You won't feel like the kind of person you want to be until you start acting like that kind of person. You have to act like you have the amount of money that you want. You have to act like you have the kind of health and the body that you want. You have to act like you have the marriage that you want, whatever it is. Start acting like you have the career that you want. Start embodying those characteristics, even in really small ways, and behaving as if your dreams have already come true. That's what I did. It's the only way you've ever created anything in your life. The difference is now you are aware and doing it more intentionally. Big difference. If you had plenty of money, would you go around thinking about how expensive everything is and how you can't afford anything nice? No. Would you grumble every time you have to pay your tax bill? Well, I still do that a little bit. But no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't feel anxiety every time you paid a bill. You wouldn't tell yourself that you can't afford things. Somebody who does that, who says, I want more money and more income, but then turns around and goes, well, I can afford that. That's too expensive. We have to wait till payday for that. Those two things are incongruent. Your actions and your words and thoughts don't match. It's all got to line up. You can't contradict yourself. Start acting and thinking from the place that you want to be, not the place you are right now. See the universe as an entity that is alive and powerful, full of energy. That's what it is. It's a literal energy field around you. You can't see it, but it's there, and it's shaping the dynamics of your life every day, and you're impacting it with your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So what do you want to create today? All right, that's it, my friends. I hope this message served you. To further help you too with this message, I'm going to give you some recommended reading, some books that have changed my life. Well, here's one in particular. You absolutely have got to read The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. Oh my goodness. That book will go into so much detail and it will say it in a way that I never could. That book has really changed my life. The Untethered Soul. Please read it today. It is jam-packed with so much truth, you're not even going to be able to handle it. And you can go to careeruprising.com, of course, to learn about me, my program options. I'd love to coach you in 2022. I do have one more show coming out, I think around December 13th or so. So you don't want to miss it. I'm going to be sharing some predictions for the upcoming years and guiding you on how you can continue to thrive in these turbulent times that are not over yet. All right. Take care, my friends. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please consider giving the show a positive review on iTunes. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help to spread the word so that others can learn about the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you again next time on Career Uprising.
This show is brought to you by InflowRadio.com, the best curated talk radio network for personal development, wellness, spirituality, and conscious business.